Hi everybody, welcome back to the Titanium Gaming Minecraft server with me, Sid. Continuing our tour of the server. Let me just get myself into the right viewpoint. So we're starting off here in the quite bare throne room of Port Valentine, which is my town. In fact, so far it's pretty much got nothing on this floor. Port Valentine is a work in progress. It's something I've been building well over 6 months now, and some of the buildings were built on this server, and a few of them were actually taken from our previous server, which died a tragic death when the hosting company went into liquidation and gave us very little time to actually pull our data down. So I managed to rescue some of the builds. So here you see the throne room. Over here you'll notice this is on a sky island. And to be honest, apart from the cut and paste of the stuff that we brought from the previous server, these islands, these floating sky islands, are the only creative elements within Port Valentine. It has been a huge job. We've got loads of ships. If I just fly over here, we'll take a look at one of them. This is the Flying Pig, which is the Port Valentine warship. Mixture of dirigible and galleon here. So yeah, this was all built in creative mode on a previous server. Still not much decoration inside the actual ship itself. One thing I do have to do is get around and decorate the interiors of an awful lot of these builds. But we've got the cannons at the front here, and various bits and pieces. So looking down, we can see there's the gatehouse. The backstory behind the floating sky islands there is that the Majors Guild, which is not rendered over there yet, we're experimenting with flying magic to try and make flying ships, and their experiment went a little bit too well and ended up with that flying in the sky there. So yeah, this is the Black Pig. Lots of cannons, bomb bays here, which drop TNT. They're functional. That one down there is, I can't remember what the name of that ship was now. Oh dear. I think that was just a cutter that I built. In fact, it looks like I didn't even bother putting a name on it. So this is the Royal Docks down here, and into the main dock areas. Now the entire town, and I just realised that my texture pack is wrong. Oh well, we'll do it in default. Don't know why my texture pack has gone so screwy, but there we go. The entire town has been built on this theme of kind of Georgian Tudor style buildings. So this another ship here. A couple of cutters out there unloading. We've got the freight cranes and various bits of anchorage. Out there is the Black Pig, which is the same hull as the Flying Pig, although the Flying Pig has since obviously been modified for flight. And up there you can just see rendering the aerial galley. You'll probably recognise that if you watch the previous server tour, as being the same as the galley we have in the Skyland spawn. So yeah, this is the Black Pig. This is probably a good couple of weeks build time. It is not uniquely my design. I do have to confess that I did borrow a schematic file to get the basis of the sails, modified the rigging somewhat, and the colour scheme. But yeah, so it's not entirely mine. Similarly with these two Zebox, I think the type of ships they are. So yeah, we're into the port. We've got more Tudor style things. That's the Majors Guild up there. So trogging around. I'm going to have to change my text patch. Just bear with me a second, because this is going to drive me insane. I need that one. I'm not used used to seeing it in default. Just bear with me a sec. Done and back. Much better, the view that I'm used to. Yeah, so got the cargo cranes there. Again, various harbourside businesses. All of these buildings will need furnishings. This particular one doesn't. This is the Inn and House of Negotiable Affection, shall we say. So that has bedrooms and the various bits up. Now if we come up into here, we've got the market square, complete with gibbet. Just for the giggle, that is the town spawn. So when you do spawn in Port Valentine, if you do a town spawn, this is where you land. Town Nether Temple. Again, another element of creative element there. This portal was world edited in. Naturally, I didn't get a portal that shape. Legitimately, shall we say. The Warriors Guild House, complete with the main building there. Training dummies, archery range, and I think in there you've got the Turkish baths. Yep. So, moving around. This is my main warehouse. This is where I keep all my stuffs. And then we move up into the more mountainous area of the town, to the end portal. Again, this is a world edited portal. They don't naturally form that way, but I didn't like the standard ones. Airship dock. Another airship here. This is, you probably recognise, being the same as the airship from the spawn town, and the various cargo cranes and such, and loading platforms. Then you've got the city walls. Now this area here is still to be built into. City walls run around, and over this side we've got some buildings in construction. These aren't finished yet, and to be honest, I may build one of these on camera at some point, but I don't see a great deal of point in building a lot more than the one. So yep, this is the landward entrance of the city walls here. So then we're into the river district. We've got various bits of businesses around here, such as the watermill. Just moving around, we've got all the residences, some larger, some smaller. Again, to another waterfront area, so the walls come all the way around here. The shrine to no particular god. So here, that's the obviously a newer edition with the addition of marble, including the golden bell, one of the watch signal towers. This particular building here is the Guild of Merchant Mariners with its watchtower facing out to sea, and then we have a wizard's tower sticking up here on this promontory. Again, more houses and businesses. This is a shipyard down here. So this is the dry dock area with a skeletal hull of a ship in progress of being built and some timber and supplies in place there, and a kind of dam-shaped door there, which I do need to actually refill with water at some point. Actually, I had a flood issue once and had to take all the water out. And this is the wet dock for that area. So these four here were originally designed to be player plots, and this is one of our, in fact our sole residence home, which has had the door and torches pop off because we had a townie crash just recently. This particular structure, still unsure what I'm going to do with that. And then you have the Major's Guild with its various libraries and council chamber through there. This I think is the the specimen chamber, so we've got a few heads in in cases, more library, and the top floor is the enchanting floor. I have a library down here. So this is Port Valentine. There's still a fair bit to get built on this. We tried to be, whenever we built in this, sympathetic to the landscape. And by this I mean, rather than just flattening everything, which is the traditional town style building, oh god, we tried to make the buildings fit into the landscape. So this, for example, this one has been cut in to the slope, so various portions of the landscape are beneath ground. Wherever possible, use the landscape to our benefit. So we've got timber merchants here. Some bits are flat, that are flattened off for the builds, so things like the public library, pardon me, with a public enchanting room. But most of it has been built with the landscape in mind there. Sorry, pardon me, I'm just choking a little bit there, I'm a bit dry. Just let me get a quick drink. So yeah, so again, the roads follow standard theme, 3x3 cobble with stone slabs. This is the mine. I'm going to have a mine system in there. Again, nowhere near finished. Does need building on. And yep, so out here probably going to have a stone and ores merchant building. Still not sure what I may do down here. Maybe a small fishing village, and obviously I need to try and decide what to do with this honking great hole in the floor. So yeah, this is Port Valentine, the main area, so to speak. Now beneath Port Valentine, just so you can see the extensiveness of some of the works we've done underneath it, because like most Minecraft builds, the surface is only the beginning. That's the path down to the Royal Docks there. So this is our warehouse area. Obviously we just with some various bits and then chests full of various gunk. That will take us up to the main warehouse, but then going down we have these pumpkin farms, which, if the redstone was still in place, that would have popped up all of these pumpkins. Unfortunately, now let me just jump in and get that. You'll notice the redstone has vanished. That's what happens when Townie crashes and you lose your town status. All the redstone vanishes, and I haven't got around to replacing that. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 floors of that, and this is the 5th floor in the process of being built. Why pumpkins? Well, pumpkins actually sell really well on the server economy, so you know, it just is a very handy farm system. This is just an old mine shaft that I haven't actually explored yet. I just noticed that when I was coming down. The other thing to note is that there's an absence of mobs around here, and the reason for that is the Townie system. So I have excavated some fairly huge and extensive branch mines down here. And these obviously provided me an awful lot of raw materials. Plenty more to go. And again, all excavated by my own fair hands here. Well, my own fair right mouse button finger, if I'm going to be truthful. So yeah, this is Port Valentine. This is one of the things we're going to be building. Let me just fly up, it's a bit quicker. One of the things we're going to be building when we come on and actually start doing some Minecraft building. Let's get in here. So yeah, now we are currently planning our migration to 1.6.2. So there will be some work to be done before we start building again. One of the considerations we're having is what direction we actually want the server to take. Do we want it to be PvP? Do we want it to be PvE? Do we require a survival games element, which is currently got? Because at the moment we feel that we're trying to be all things to all men, and that is somewhat diluting the feel of the server. So we're trying to make some decisions there. So this should be interesting, but I have got some admin-y builds to do. We've got a competition which has just recently completed, so I need to paste the results of that into the overworld and implement that in Mob Arena. Yeah, a few other bits and pieces, you know, nothing earth-shaking there. So yeah, and once we've got that going, we can actually start building a few other bits and pieces. Now, while I'm on and while we're still chatting, the other thing I will be building is if I just go to one of my homes, this should, yep, bring us into Castle FrankenCid, as I lovingly call it. Now again, this is my mad scientist's keep. This is, again, all built in survival, so every single thing here has been laid by my own loving hands. Got the main castle, the observation dome up here, complete with telescope, and various other bits and pieces. Now I'm still very much building this. This is still a work in progress. Again, protected from having unwanted mobs spawning, hence why it's so damn dark in here. I haven't got around to lighting it up. It's actually not overly necessary. And this has got quite a bit of building work left to do in it. So obviously the towers need to be furnished. They're all done, but the main keep itself has got some furnishing work to do. So the entrance hall here hasn't had a great deal done with it. This first floor of the Mad Scientist labs is literally just floor at the moment, and nothing in here. And then within these cages, we've got to put some spawners in. That will obviously be a non-survival element. I will be using world edit and various tricks to get some of the custom mobs that I've built. So we've got cages in for why is that missing? We'll replace that later. Okay, yeah, so we've got the mob spawning areas for all of our things. Operating tables complete with blobs of blood and severed heads. You know, proper mad scientist stuff. Because one of the things I actually do on the server, and one of the things I actually love doing, is pushing the Minecraft engine to the limit, really, and building custom mobs. So a lot of our adventure areas have got mobs which are tougher than the norm or different to the norm. Very similar to a lot of the work that Hypixel has done, in fact inspired by a lot of the work that Hypixel has done with some of their adventure areas and maps. So yeah, moving up, we've still got more internal decorating to do here. Let me just try and fly, and then a couple more towers there, which again still need decorating. And continuing up, we've got more decoration to do all the way up to get to the central spire, I think. No, I've still got to go up a level or two. This was quite a big build, as you can probably imagine there. So yeah, we can get out onto the roof here, and you've still got more tower to go up. I appear to be missing a bit of brick there for some reason, don't know why. So yeah, again, empty floor. And one of the problems, and one of the things I always struggle with, to be honest, is actually turning my builds and looking at the exterior work. Fine, interior work, that's where I often get stuck. So enchanting and furnace room complete with anvil, and library bit there. I think that's just a small storeroom, nothing in there yet. Another small room with nothing in it. So continuing up, we should hit a large library area. No mage, should be without a good collection of things. A nomad scientist needs all these textbooks and references, arcane and scientific. And on this particular floor, the master bedroom. Again, still needs some more furnishings. And nothing in there as yet. And then on, I think, the top floor, we hit the potion lab, which again, the mad scientist lab, big steel vat of water, completely purposeless glass thing of water and lava. Big chest storage area for all the potions, potion lab. You know, it's aiming to be a mad scientist keep, and we'll probably get to doing some more work on this in the not too distant future. Let me just jump to the top of this keep here, and we should be able to get a feel for the outside. And again, nether brick fence is featured heavily in this. I do like the idea of these kind of dangling torch tendrils. They work particularly well. And the Port Valentine flag prominent on the spires of the tower. And yeah, not sure where else we're going to go with that. That's another one of those builds. Have to be honest with you, I do like to have 2 or 3 large builds on the go at any one time, because doing these things can just get incredibly boring if you're just stuck doing the same project over and over, and you do get to a point sometimes where you just resent the actual thing you're building. You just kind of start to really hate it. So having 2 or 3 large projects on the go, and often I'll have a couple of personal ones and 2 or 3 server ones, just allows me to go and do something different somewhere else. So yeah, they're the 2 elements of Port Valentine that I wanted to show you. And well, I'll see you all next time, and we'll hopefully do a bit of building and maybe visit some of the other players' towns as well, once we've got the upgrade and everything done. So I've been Sid, and thanks for watching.